Well, apparently my phone just wants to keep going off. So, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of On the Road to Victory. I'm your host, Jimmy Smith, and I hope you're all having a great weekend so far. It is hot as hell today. I'm going to be real with you. I don't know if I'm living in Florida again. I'm not real sure what this weather is, but punch me in the face. But hope you're all having a good one. Appreciate you taking the time, whether you're tuning in live or you're watching this later. Appreciate all of you guys. Thank you for hitting that like button, subscribing to the channel, everything you're doing to support me. Truly appreciate you guys. But we have been having ourselves quite the offseason, ladies and gentlemen. As Philadelphia Eagles fans, this has been quite a joy. We have been talking for months about all of the money, all of the picks. How is Howie going to use them? We talked about if he used them the right way, how we could be on the road to victory. And ladies and gentlemen, Howie has definitely followed through with all of those things. So one of the things we talked about a few months ago, if you remember at the beginning of the offseason, was creating cap space, having cap space to make moves, to sign, big name guys like James Bradberry, to trade for a big name wide receiver and still be able to have a great draft, getting guys like Jordan Davis, a nose tackle, and a linebacker, Nakobe Dean, signing Hassan Reddick, Kaiser White. I mean, what a fantastic offseason. But with that, my man Drew in the building. What is going on, my dude? Hope you're doing well. Hope everybody is doing well. We're going to talk about, how he's been making moves, but we always know the deal with Howie. So we're going to go over 10 moves the Eagles can make to create even more cap space. And look, we've got money right now. It doesn't matter, but we've talked about moves like trading for Jesse Bates. Go check out that video from the other day. We've talked about, James Bradberry salary cap hit, how it's very low, just like we expected, and thrown some dummy years on there, like how he would onto his contract. So we know that the money is there for the Eagles to still make moves. But if we clear up some more cap space, then moves are definitely coming. So we're going to look at things. But right now, you know that with James Bradberry and all of the rookies included, the Eagles have $8,205,458. Howie Roseman. Man, that dude really knows how to work the books. So happy to have him as our GM, and he is really just trying to make things right with all the people still holding things against him. I think at this point, most people are on board. So let's go. Now, let's also take a quick look at this roster just so you have an idea of, why some of these moves might happen, where there are, a plethora of guys, wide receivers, tight ends. We've got linemen. We've got all kinds of guys here. So you see this list here. We've talked about, the depth chart here. Obviously, some things are going to change around, but for the most part, this is what it looks like. And then on defense, you see the green is the new players, whether they're rookies or free agent signings. But yeah, we've got some new starters here, ladies and gentlemen, and this defense is going to look much different. Now, not in the schemes, because we tried to run a lot of different odd fronts, and I was really excited about that, but we needed different personnel. So we've added that personnel. You see here that some guys could definitely be on the move. So we're going to talk about some of these guys. We're going to talk about the post-June 1st designations, all that great stuff. We know going into this that, the Fletcher Cox move, it's, going to create more cap space. But the way I figured things into it, that's a whole long story that you guys can go check out that video. But that was because of the way the prorated money of his dead money was spread out, was either $2 million or $5 million. So that was a whole fun game you guys can go check out. And then, of course, Brandon Brooks retiring. But he still costs us like $7 million on the books right now in cap. So those are stories for another day, and you can go check out those other videos. But we're going to check out these moves right here and talk about how the Eagles can create more cap space, trying to get more people to listen to you, content. So my man, Drew, I truly appreciate you. I appreciate all you guys that retweet and share, all that stuff you guys are doing to support me. Can't thank you enough. And as this thing grows, man, it just hit 500 like a week or so ago, and now we're up to 655. So it goes in little tiny spurts here, but I appreciate you, man. I do. And I appreciate all of you guys that support me here. So thank you. Thank you. And I hope you enjoy the content tonight. So if you do, hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell, because next I've been putting it together. I've got the graphics finally made. I put the imagery together of what the defense is going to look like. A lot of people, not understanding that we already ran odd fronts, but now I want to put the players in the places and understand why we needed to sign and draft certain players that we talked about all offseason. And Jordan Davis, Hassan Reddick, we got them. Kaiser White, Nakobe Dean, like, holy shit, is this real? Got James Bradberry. So it's going to be in picture form. You're going to get to see what I'm going to do is look at the front seven. We're going to talk about, what the different fronts are. Most people, the 4-3. So we'll look at the 3-4, the 5-2, all that great stuff. But we're going to look at it, with the graphics so you can see how people are lining up, why we're doing it, what situation. So really excited about that. So I hope you enjoy that. So Drew, thank you so much. Thank you, all of you guys. But let's get into this. Don't want to keep blabbering here. So we'll get into this right away with some cuts. Let's talk about some guys we can just let go because, well, JJ Arcega-Whiteside, let's just bring you up first. These are the kind of guys that the position at tight end is stacked. He obviously could not make it work at wide receiver. We've got a plethora of guys competing there as well. So not looking well for old JJ Arcega-Whiteside. And as you see here, the money is the same whether you get rid of him now or after June 1st. So maybe you give him a shot. Maybe you see what he can do at the tight end position. But if not, you can always release him and save yourself some money. Now, we keep in mind when you're doing this, somebody replaces these people on the salary cap. So you're essentially only saving about $400,000 when you do a move like this. So it's not necessarily something that, I think the Eagles, have to do because maybe they want to give him a shot in his 4th year. I mean, maybe, but we got Calcaterra here. We've got other guys that we've talked about being already here in Togiai. Obviously, Tyree Jackson banged up, but Richard Rodgers still here. And, of course, Dallas Goedert, Jack Stoll. So I think that he's definitely a candidate there, ladies and gentlemen. And I know a lot of people don't want to hear that. And, hey, give him a shot if you want. But I just don't think it looks great for him at the bottom of the depth chart at tight end. So best of luck to him. And then a guy like Craig James, this is somebody that I think, you would probably replace him and you'd only save $100,000. But again, you're talking about guys where we've now added to that, room. And I just feel like he is somebody that could definitely be on the move to create some space right now. And, as much as you possibly can, if you're going to try to create some space and you need to get rid of, some roster moves, these are just moves that create the most money. So that's why we're talking about them, getting rid of the low numbers first. So let's keep it moving, ladies and gentlemen. But if you have any questions, any comments, just like any other video, you know how it goes. Please let me hear it. If you're watching this later, you can always comment down below. Love to hear your thoughts, opinions about these players or other players, whatever it is. But these are the ones that make the most sense. Everybody else with the dead money, all that stuff, they just don't really make sense. So let's keep it moving. We've got 2 down. Let's get to the third guy who, look, I love some Boston Scott, man. But, we brought in some young guys that, look, I'm not somebody that's like, oh, my God, Kennedy Brooks and Jeremy Howard Jr., they're going to be so great. Or Jerry Howard Jr., sorry. It's like, look, I think they've got to prove themselves first. But you see here that post June 1st during a trade, or I'm sorry, just on the trade side, you save extra money, man. And I think other teams could definitely come calling for someone like Boston Scott. And the only reason I say this is because you have Miles Sanders, you have Kenneth Gainwell here. And I think, of the same mold. Now, if those guys can stay healthy, it's great. If they don't, then it's like, oh, okay, it makes sense. Boston Scott's there. And Boston Scott can help you on special teams, right? So I love Boston Scott. But if a team comes calling, I think the key to look at here is up here under the name, years remaining on his contract 1. Obviously, we did the whole restricted free agent dance with him this year. We talked about that and brought him back. And I love the dude. I do. But if someone comes calling, you could get something in return and save some cap space. Again, you replace that money, so you're only saving about like $700,000. But again, if you can get something in return, whereas next year he probably walks unless whatever the Miles Sanders situation is, whatever it is. These are just candidates, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not saying it should happen. Okay, I'm not saying that. I'm just showing you the ones that actually I had to take the top 10. So I can't choose some of the other ones because the dead money just doesn't make sense. And don't worry, some of the guys I know you guys are chomping at the bit for, they will show up here. So just stay tuned. And if you have any questions about somebody, I'll let you know if they're coming up or whatever it is. Hey, I appreciate you, Facebook user. You click that link at the top. I'll be able to see who you are, not have to refer to you as Facebook user and have no idea who you are. But I appreciate you. I truly do. Thank you for all taking the time on this great weekend. And look, it's hot as hell. So tune in, relax. Hopefully you got the air conditioner rolling. It's that time, baby. Let's go. But up next, we've got a guy that not going to cut. So those other guys, maybe you cut. That Boston Scott doesn't make sense for me. I don't think you cut him. I think that's a trade candidate. So that's somebody I think maybe, you do that with, as I explained, get something rather than nothing, just like we talked about with Ertz, obviously a much different situation, getting more in return. But regardless, I think Boston Scott could be a candidate there. Now, up next, Mr. Gardner Minshew. Love the dude. It's great to have a backup quarterback that is capable of being a starting quarterback. Came in, did well last year. Love his personality. Love the stories I get to hear about him from over at the Bro Barn. Dude is a nut. So love it. But let's be real here. Let's look at that money and the so important money there. $2.5 million, a little bit over $2,540,000 there. No matter how you cut it, trade it. Now, I'm not cutting him because let's be real, he's a really good backup quarterback. But I think this dude wants an opportunity to go start somewhere. He has earned that opportunity. And I think you could give him that. I don't know how the Eagles feel about, Reed, Sinnett, and Carson Strong, but we're going to see how those guys look in camp. And I think you wait a little bit, see if maybe there's some injuries. I think there's already going to be teams that realize maybe I need another quarterback. So I think Gardner Minshew could definitely be one of those guys that saves you a chunk of money there. And, I think with $2.5 million, again, you're replacing it, but you're still getting over $1.5 million, about 1.6 saved there. So that's a decent chunk there. And, once again, we talk about this. Everybody thinks when somebody signs, these big contracts, that's the salary cap hit. And that is not how it works. And I've said it over and damn over again. It's not we were going to trade for a big name wide receiver. You give him a big contract by giving him a big signing bonus. And then you spread out those cap hits and you're going to get some big ones. They'll get restructured again and people get all upset. But it's like, dude, look what just happened this year. How he knows what he's doing. I'm excited about it. So let's just strap in. Hope that the money gets moved around. We literally got A.J. Brown and signed him to a big contract. You saw James Bradbury's contract, small cap hit, and he has incentives, but dummy years that really help the cap hit. We know that how he knows what he's doing. So let's have faith there that maybe you make a trade for a guy like Jesse Bates. I know a lot of you guys like Chuck Clark. There's definitely options. I know Trey Boston and free agency. We've talked about all of these guys who are out this damn all say that. Let's go. So if Jesse Bates, you want to give up some of those extra picks you got, the Saints extra first next year, we got a second. The next year, I don't think you need to give up a first, but, you've got him by the balls by the fact that he wants a new contract. So I think if he wants to come play for the Eagles, you saw he liked to post about Slay and Bradbury. Let's go. Let's go. Come win a Super Bowl here in Philadelphia. That is the missing piece, baby, on, the Infinity Stone, the last one, whatever, and the gauntlet. Yeah, let's go. I'm ready to see Jesse Bates in the Midnight Green, and we can make it happen with some of these moves. So up next, I know this is the one you've all been waiting for, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Jalen Reagor. And look, I always try to give a receiver his third year. He's really going to, find himself. We'll find out who he is. But right now, Jalen Reagor, and honestly, I have no idea what's going on with him mentally. But for me, it has all been mental. I know he has the physical skills. I've watched him. But the problem is, it doesn't seem, and once again, I don't want to talk on someone because I do not know him and I do not know his situation. But it's not looking well. Let's just say that right now. We traded for A.J. Brown for a reason. We've got Quez Watkins at 3. And when you saw that depth chart, man, we've got a lot of guys competing. I'd love to see him ball out. I'd love to see him become the guy he was supposed to be. And then we have, one of the best receiving corps is him, number 4. That's awesome. But I do not know if that's what's going to happen. So you see here the numbers. A lot of people talk about, let's cut him. You got to cut him. You just got to cut him. No. You do not want to do that. Look at the amount of dead money you have there. And just this year, you cut them pre-June 1st. That's $4 million in dead or cap that you're getting sack bagged on. Then post-June 1st. So anything in white there you're noticing is negative money. You do not want that. So no on the cutting. Now, trading, you want to do that. But of course, you're going to hear the joke, nobody's going to trade a bag of potato chips for him. So again, I know that we talked to the Ravens about giving them Jalen Reagor because of the fact that they got rid of, Marquise Hollywood Brown there. So maybe we could add him into a trade for Chuck Clark. I'm not sure if that's the route. Maybe I doubt the Bengals, they're loaded there. So you want to get Jesse Bates, but cutting him is not the answer. I don't think we want to take all that dead money for no reason. I'd rather just see if he could, do something and then at least, release him post-June 1st because then you wouldn't take as big of a hit. But regardless, I think you try to trade him at least post-June 1st, save a little bit of money there. But, taking on dead money for someone like him, that's unfortunate, but you take your losses here. We've obviously built a great team with, Carson Wentz, all that situation, oh, we're doomed. We're going to be the next Browns, the Jets. That's what everybody was saying. It was like, no, Howie Roseman's going to get us out. And we could see the light, with last year's draft. And we saw all the moves he made to acquire the picks for this year and the money we had. So we knew good things were ahead if we just did things right. So let's go, baby. Let's just hope that we keep it up. Maybe one more move for Jesse Bates, and we'll see. My man, AK in the building. Let's go. Fly, Eagles, fly. You know it, on the road to victory. And baby, it's coming back. I cannot express enough how much I want to see this team contend. And obviously, they're going to have to stay healthy. And this is the first time a lot of these guys playing together. But I'm excited. Jonathan Gannon got the pieces he needed on defense. His offense is built around Hurts. Let's go. Now, up next, this is a guy I really, really do like. Isaac Seumalo, man. But we've talked about him all off season. And he is somebody just because of the money that you have to talk about. And having the plethora of offensive linemen that we do, we knew that one of those guys was probably on the move. We talked about Irby. They wanted to do whatever with his contract. Nope. So he's gone. He gets to go, probably start for the Jets. Good for him. But look, Isaac Seumalo, it's expected he's going to come back and start. But the thing for him is, he's dealing with an injury. And then the guy who's battling with him, not Herbig anymore, Driscoll obviously did great starting last year. I think he really has a chance to start, but he's also battling an injury. So you've got some issues there. So Isaac Seumalo, I don't know. Maybe if the Bengals are interested in trading for him. We've talked about that plenty of times, and especially when we talked about Jesse Bates. So I think, that's a possibility. You look at the money you'll save there. Obviously, you want to try to do that post June 1st. So maybe we have to wait till the end of the month here. And, well, obviously the beginning of June 2nd is going to be a big day. So we'll see. But that's going to save a lot more money if you wait, whether it's cutting or trading. And I think it's definitely a possibility. We've talked about it. You see that the blue check marks are talking about it now, but this has been a possibility. Unfortunate as it is, but that post June 1st designation could be coming, whether we make a trade or they just want money for whatever. I just be prepared, ladies and gentlemen. That's all I'm trying to do here. Give you 10 moves that could happen. Then we've got another move where I think it's best, if you trade him, because you see the money there, you're not saving a damn thing and you just take on dead money. So we don't want that, whether it's this year or next. Who cares? But this dude obviously did not pan out right away. And we found a diamond in the rough in Jordan Mailata. So that's fantastic. But now you've got a guy that, sure, it'd be great to have him as a swing tackle, but he was a first-round pick. And if you can get something in return, you want to do that. And if that just really comes down to obviously what someone is offering. But you see, if you trade him, you can save $2 million, only take $1 million in dead money. You cut your losses there. Again, another first-round pick that didn't pan out. I think the one we got this year is going to be just fine, just like last year's. And I think that clearly A.J. Brown's going to do just fine in this offense. So, yes, Andre Dillard is quite the possibility here to be on the move. So I like the fact that, I don't like to see anybody get hurt. I don't want injuries, but I love the fact that he was able to come in and show that he has some value there. So hopefully we can get him on the move and get something in return. Just shared you out. My man, I appreciate you. And look, man, I truly appreciate every single one of you guys. I'm doing everything I can to give you all the content and everything I want to know about the Eagles is that's what I'm going to try to give to you guys, hoping, for you guys that are obsessed with everything like me. I want to know the cap space. I want to know who the hell the fifth stringer is. I want to know everything. So I try to provide whatever I can for you guys. So I appreciate you guys supporting me. I appreciate everything. So if you guys ever want, you think I should be doing something different, you want something I haven't done, or blah, 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 whatever it is, please, I'm all about hearing the constructive criticism, all about it, whatever it is, don't care. I want this to be a great place for you to come and talk some birds. So, ladies and gentlemen, I can't thank you enough for the support. AK, Drew, all of you guys, you're truly awesome. And anybody who's watching later, I appreciate you guys too. So, thank you. Now, let's keep this bad boy rolling. Now, these guys, this is more of, you're not trading them. I don't think you're definitely not cutting them, but you could try to move some money around with them. Now, OTC's got these guys, if you restructure or extend them, well, for Jake Elliott here, you've got 2.3 mil. He's got 4 years left on his contract. He's getting paid 5 mil. He's like fourth or fifth high, like average, we'll say, kicker in the league. So it's not a bad number. I know it seems high for a kicker, but it is, because you look at James Bradbury and you're like, what the but that's just kind of how it works. The NFL, crazy stuff, moving money around. James Bradbury still got his money, so he doesn't care. But regardless of that, you can keep moving money around with him. And that is something I definitely think that Howie can keep calling Jake Elliott, because he's one of those guys that's probably not hard to, convince to just say yes. So sorry, Jake, but just keeping it real. Now, another guy, this is the man, the myth, Lane Johnson. And he is the legend, because I think this dude is obviously going to retire an Eagle, but we don't know how many years he's going to stick around. He's got some crazy stuff in his contract we're not going to go over right now. But you see, first off, we're not cutting or trading. I don't care about the money there, whatever. But I don't think he's going to restructure, and I don't think they're going to extend it any further. But if you could try to restructure it, that's just a move that if you're looking at the cap space, you're going to see that that's something that could create some space. I don't think Lane's going to do that, because why should he, man? He's already done that, did that last year. I mean, he does it. Lane has been nothing but a team player. So love the dude, and he deserves all the money he gets. And I hope we keep him for the next few years, or for however long he keeps going, man, because pave the lane all day, baby. Him and Mailata, you love to see it. Now, up next, and last but not least, love me some Javon Hargrave. But the issue here is that $17,802,000 cap hit. Holy hell. So let's try to make some money work here. Now, you're not cutting him. You're not even cutting him post June 1st. Nope, I don't want to see that. I want to see him on the team. And he's going into a contract year. I think with Fletcher Cox situation, he'll obviously be gone next year. I think, Jordan Davis is a nose tackle. That's not why we drafted him. He's not replacing Cox. Completely different thing. But I think Javon Hargrave is someone that you can say, okay, he is the replacement for Cox. You've got Milton Williams as the other guy that can play that other side of defensive end. So I think for me, you keep him around. So give him a nice extension. And, OTC says you can save $9.5 million there if you do that. I'm not sure if that's exactly right or how he could figure out there, but you can definitely save some money. And I would definitely try to do that. I'm not trading him. I'm not cutting him. I'm trying to move some money around. I'm trying to give him a bigger contract, keep him around, give him that big signing bonus, small cap hit this year, and then move things down. So maybe that's the only move you have to make. We save. That's why I said last but not least, man, because I think for me, that's a move that we've talked about all offseason, and it's a no-brainer. And, you extend him, you save cap space. It's a smart move. So I think it's just patience right now. We're waiting to see maybe, the money will be different post June 1st. They give him that extension then. So I'm just being patient with that one. And I think Seumalo is another one, but you have to wait and see what's going on with Jack Driscoll, obviously, because he's still banged up. So let's bring that depth chart back up one last time. You see, it looks great, Seumalo, Driscoll, but if they're not ready, I do like Sua Opeta. And I know that, obviously Stoutland likes him, but is he going to be ready to start there at right guard? Beyond that, what are you doing? Jack Anderson, maybe Brett Toth. You got Dunkel, Awasika. You've got some versatile dudes in Toth and Awasika who could play guard, but I don't know if you want to do that, if you want to just get rid of Seumalo. So maybe, and look, we've already got a pretty much stacked team. I love where we're at right now with what we had going into this offseason. So I think you trade for a guy like Jesse Bates with the money you have, you create more space with Hargrave. It's a no-brainer. You would have like over $10 million. Like, yes. So you could have money for whatever you want to do in the season in case something happens. You want money for next year, you roll over, because we've talked about being in the negative next year, but luckily the TV deals, the cap, everything will go up. So we'll have more money, but you want to keep a little around just in case. So I think we're sitting pretty, ladies and gentlemen, and any of those moves could happen. And I'm hoping that the ones we just talked about hopefully are the ones that do, because you clearly create a lot of space with just a couple simple moves there. I really appreciate you, man. Thank you, Marco. And thank you to everybody who's tuning in. Thanks for, you guys really, showing me that you appreciate it. It shows me that that's what you want, because that's all I mean it, man. Let me know what you guys think about it, because I just want to provide you guys with content, and it's stuff that I want to see. It's like everything I've ever done, every single year since I was a kid. It's like I've always wanted to know every number. I want to know their height, their weight, their college. So it's like, even when we sign free agent dudes, I make highlight videos. It's not because like, oh, this guy's the next greatest. It's because I want everyone to have a look at every single person and maybe not the same length at what I'm going, but I try to break everything down. And I know math sucks, and I know the cap space sucks, but that's why I do the math, and I try to break it down that way. Nobody else has to do it. And it's, I try to simplify it that way. It's easy for people to understand. They can see when they look at the cap, like, hey, I'm not just taking that cap number and subtracting it. I'm replacing it. And, every year we're trying to get those blue check marks to get it straight when it comes to the draft picks, to everything, man. But hey, I'll keep trying to provide the info. Glad you guys appreciate it. Hey, thank you, Amber, as well. Appreciate all you guys. Hope you're having a great weekend. I, myself, right now, am dying. It is so damn hot. So wherever you are, hopefully you got your air pumping. You're feeling good, because no air conditioner could save me. I need air, fans, everything, but I can't have like fans and air pumping right now while I'm going live. That's just not going to work out. So right now we're going through it. But I'm glad you guys appreciate this stuff. Are you talking about cap space for Jesse Bates? No, I'm not. But you can check out the video from the other day on Jesse Bates and the cap space. So I will post that in the comments, as I was saying earlier. I'll pin it up there at the top so you guys can go check on it. James Bradbury's cap hit, all the cap space. But this video was 10 moves, how we could create cap space so we could go after Jesse Bates, but we can go after Jesse Bates without doing it. But I think the Eagles would feel more comfortable in the way they're trying to move money around. That last move, Javon Hargrave, I think is the no-brainer. Give him the extension, keep him around, clear up some cap space, just like we did with A.J. Brown. You do the same thing trading for Jesse Bates. Give him the big signing bonus. You spread out that money. It's a no-brainer. We're back winning ourselves a Super Bowl, and I know a lot of people don't want to hear it. Don't be happy about the Eagles. I can be, because I literally talked about if they made these moves, I was going to be excited as hell, so I didn't want to hear it. So I don't want to hear it. We added all those pieces. And the next show, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be breaking down the defense. We're talking about the odd man fronts that apparently is new to everybody else. But last year, the Eagles ran it. But we didn't have a nose tackle. We didn't have a great Sam linebacker. Sorry, Jannard Avery, but Hassan Reddick is quite the upgrade. We had 2 linebackers in Kaiser White and Nakobe Dean. And obviously in front there, the real nose tackle, Jordan Davis. Then you talk about James Bradbury paired with Slay. That Bradbury is quite the upgrade from Steven Nelson. And I get it. People are scared. Rodney McLeod's gone. But, dude, Rodney McLeod probably not even going to start with the Colts. Marcus Epps, we've talked about how underrated he is. Love the kid. Excited to see what he could do next to Anthony Harris. But I think adding Jesse Bates, you could run some big nickel, have 3 safeties out there at the same time. So, yeah, sign me up, ladies and gentlemen, for some Jesse Bates. You can go check out as well the Chuck Clark video. There are so many videos out there on my YouTube channel. Hopefully, whatever you're looking for, you guys can get that information you need. But if not, I always tell you guys, you can reach out to me with any kind of questions. Dude, don't hesitate. And whether it's talking about birds or life, a lot of you guys, I really appreciate you and appreciate the family I have made here, man. Really, it's been awesome. So you guys have helped me with this stupid disease I have, battling through, and watching the birds win our first Super Bowl. Like, come on, dude. This has been awesome. So I love the hell out of all of you guys. You ever need me or you just want to talk some birds, you can comment down below or you can reach out to me on any of these platforms. I truly just appreciate all of you guys. Thank you for letting me know you appreciate the, all the information I'm trying to put out there for you guys. And this is what I'm working on right now. Holy hell. The graphics, putting them together, just trying to get. That way you have something to look at. So you're looking at the picture and you're like, okay, that's a 3-4. That's where these guys are lining up. The 4-3, the 5-2, whatever your heart desires. We're going to go over it. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is all I have for you tonight. I hope you enjoyed the show. If you did, do me a favor, hit that like button. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Turn that notification bell on. And I hate having to say that. I really do. But maybe you're a first-time listener. So, just in case, I'd appreciate you coming back and talking some birds. So, it's about to get real throughout this all season. OTA's coming up. It might not be, football, it's a couple months. No, it's Eagles 24/7. And I try to provide whatever content I can to get through this damn all season. So glad you enjoy it. Hope you're having yourselves a great weekend. But I'm rolling out here, ladies and gentlemen. Truly, though, thank you again. If you need me, reach out. Stay safe out there. Try to get cool, man, because it's hot as hell. And it's about to be as hot as this Eagles team. And yeah, I'm telling you, we're going to do another schedule prediction. And we talked about, if you heard that prediction, when we added a corner, how things were going to change. So look forward to all this content and talking with you guys about it. So thank you again for tuning in. Have yourselves a great weekend. And as always, go Birds!